Right now, many Americans feel fear, anxiety, and uncertainty about the future of democracy. With political chaos unfolding and criminals occupying positions of power, it's easy to feel like the country is unraveling. But let me assure you, the United States military has not gone anywhere. They are working, right now, behind the scenes, just as they always have. Their mission is clear, their strategy is sound, and their dedication is unwavering. The U.S. military remains strong, even in unprecedented times. What we are witnessing is unlike anything in American history. We have been attacked by our own president, twice, and now he's back in power. It feels like democracy is under siege. But while this crisis is unprecedented, one thing has not changed: the way the U.S. military operates. Unlike politicians or Supreme Court justices who can be bought and influenced, the military does not serve individuals or political parties. They swear an oath to the Constitution. Their loyalty is to democracy, the rule of law, and the security of the American people. This is the oath every U.S. military officer takes. I, name, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which I am about to enter. So help me God. This oath applies to all commissioned officers, including generals, and reflects their duty to uphold the Constitution, rather than allegiance to any individual leader. This is why our military remains a force of integrity, even in times of political corruption. Unlike other branches of government, they cannot be bought. They do not serve personal agendas. Their loyalty is to the American people and to the democratic principles upon which this nation was built. And just as they have done in every crisis before, whether we knew it at the time or not, they are already at work. This oath is not to a person, not to a party, but to the Constitution. It is a sacred commitment to defend democracy itself.
Unaccountable power, the hidden threat to democracy. While we focus on corrupt politicians, there is another dangerous force shaping our world: unelected billionaires with unchecked power. We now live in an era where the richest man on the planet, someone who was never elected, never approved by Congress, and holds no official government position, wields massive influence over global affairs. He controls critical infrastructure, communication networks, and even has a seat at the table with world leaders and military strategists. Democracy is built on accountability and the rule of law. But when extreme wealth buys direct access to power, without oversight or responsibility to the people, it threatens the very foundation of a free society. Unlike our military, which swears an oath to the Constitution, these ultra-wealthy elites serve only their own interests. They do not answer to voters. They do not protect the rights of the people. And yet, they influence policies, disrupt governments, and manipulate systems to maintain their own dominance. This is why we must stay vigilant. Democracy must be defended, not just from corrupt politicians, but from those who seek to control it from behind the scenes. The military's true strength, unity, and love. The United States military is the most powerful force in the world, not just because of its technology, strategy, or discipline, but because of something even greater: its unity. For generations, the U.S. military has understood what many spiritual traditions teach. True strength comes from recognizing that we are one. Soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines do not fight as individuals. They stand together, driven by love for their country, their comrades, and the people they serve. This is reflected in their ethos. The U.S. Army's past slogan, "Army of One," emphasized that while each soldier is powerful, their true strength comes from being part of something greater. The Marines live by semper fidelis, always faithful, reminding them that loyalty, not fear, defines their service. The Navy, Air Force, and Coast Guard all share mottos rooted in unity, readiness, and resilience. This is why our military does not act out of fear, chaos, or ego-driven power. They serve with precision,
with strategy, and with an unshakable commitment to the greater good.
They are not mercenaries.
They cannot be bought. Their mission is not about domination, but about protection, integrity, and the preservation of democracy. This is what makes the U.S. military one of the most powerful forces on Earth. Not just their strength, but their purpose. Military precision. Strategy over spectacle. Think about the special operations mission that took down Osama bin Laden. The public didn't know. The media didn't know. But the military knew. They trained for years, planned every detail, and executed with clear strategic precision.
That's how the U.S. military operates. They do not act impulsively.
They do not reveal their strategies. They do not grandstand or seek attention. Instead, they move with intelligence, discipline, and an unwavering commitment to protecting this nation. Right now, they are doing exactly what they were trained to do. They are watching. They are planning. And when the time is right, they will act with the same surgical precision they have always used to defend democracy. Now is the time for action, not fear. Fear is what weakens us. Fear is what corrupt politicians want us to feel. But we are not helpless. Vice President Kamala Harris ignited a movement during her presidential campaign, reminding us that democracy is not a spectator sport. That movement is still alive. Now is the time to act. If you've never protested, if you've never spoken out, if you've never taken a stand, this is your moment. But activism doesn't look the same for everyone. Find the way that feels right for you. Join rallies and peaceful protests. Call and email your representatives. Educate yourself and share credible information. Donate to pro-democracy organizations. Volunteer in your community. Support independent journalism and fact-based news sources. We cannot afford to be passive observers. We must be active participants in democracy.
The military is doing their job.
Now let's do ours. America, rest easy. The military is doing their job. We are in a battle for democracy, but the brightest minds in the world are at work. The United States military has not stopped working. They are already in motion. And when the time comes, they will do what is necessary to uphold their oath, to defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. So sleep easy, America. They've got this, and so do we.